You are listening to the Phantasm podcast.
Phantasm.
We have the pleasure of speaking with Matti, the one and only from Pathology. And how you doing today, man?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, of course. If you would, you can start by doing a brief history of the band and maybe how you just got into death metal to begin with.
Yeah, however you got in, what got you into doing vocals and death metal and stuff?
Yeah, so it was probably... Well, when I had leprosy and spiritual healing were probably the first two when I started experimenting with singing like that. And then once I picked up Parkis's Symphonies of Sickness and Entombed's Left Hand Half, that's when I kind of went in for like full bore.
It's a good way to start.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, which one do you like better? Do you like leprosy or spiritual healing better?
Spiritual healing.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. That's definitely my favorite record by Death, for sure.
Such a great
Yeah,
album.
that's my favorite by Death. Yeah, I know. I love that album.
All right, and you want to talk about the first band you were doing death metal vocals with?
The first band I ever did death metal vocals for was a band called Haunted from San Diego.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
that.
it was really, it was very down-tuned, kind of like old, like the Finnish style, like Demigod and stuff like that. It was like kind of a huge influence on that band. So.
Yeah, well, that's cool. And what year was that when you were doing that?
That was 1991.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I was 1 year old.
Man, I feel old.
No, don't. I was. So you were doing that, and did you guys record an album or?
No, we recorded a couple demos, and I've actually tried to find those, and to no avail. I would really like to, have just even like a digital copy of them.
Sure.
Yeah, but nobody's got them for whatever reason. Like the guys that used to be in the band and stuff, they just kind of got lost in the.
Oh, man.
Over the years. Yeah, bummer.
Then you didn't get to put them up on the internet, so then you just have it,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wish.
Because now you can just backlog, you can just upload stuff, you can record anything and just put it on there for later,
Yeah.
And then from there, Disgorge maybe?
Yep, and then Yep, I actually quit Haunted to do Disgorge full time.
Awesome.
And how did the Disgorge thing come about?
I had their 4-song demo of, obviously the one that I was not on, that first one.
Right.
And there was 2 songs on each side, and I kind of like almost even wore that tape out. I listened to it so much.
Right.
And then, come to find out, one of my buddies that knew them, was like, hey, they're going to be down in San Diego. So anyway, we hooked up and they said, hey, can we use your guys' practice room? That was obviously Haunted at the time. And
Right.
so it's like, yeah, of course. So I went down there with them, just let them in, and it was just Ricky and Tony. And I said, hey, can I sing the songs on the demo? And they were like, yeah, which ones do you know? I said, I know all of them. So
they're like, oh, shit.
yeah, so I sang Womb Full of Scabs, which is the first song on the demo, and then they just looked over and said, you want to do this full time? Like,
Yeah.
That was literally it. That was like that's how it started with them.
Well, that's cool. And then, so you guys recorded Cranial Impalement. Would that be the next thing?
Yeah, we did. Those are 2 demos, actually. So we recorded one of those, 4 of the songs in 95 and 4 of them in 96, I think.
Okay. And then did you all do any touring for that, or were you all just playing local shows, or did you?
We did tons of local, tons of LA, which is obviously very close to San Diego, so we had a really good following up there.
Sure.
Even like San Francisco, we would drive up and to the Northern California area where Deeds of Flesh, those are super good friends of ours, and we
Fucking
would
love
play
Deeds
them
of
up
Flesh.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be doing vocals on 2 songs on the new album, on just backing, obviously.
Oh, that's sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Eric's a good friend.
I've been waiting on a good one. The Portals to Canaan was such a fucking awesome record when they put that out. I still listen to it.
Their stuff's phenomenal. I love that band.
Something to look forward to. Definitely awesome.
So then you guys, after Cranial, so you did the She Lay Gutted?
Yeah, and then that was obviously with a different lineup, so that was with Diego and Ben instead of Tony and Eric from the Cranial lineup, yeah.
Okay. And on She Lay Gutted, did you guys do a lot of touring for that, or?
We did, yeah, we did that. We did the very first Bloodletting tour, that was with Deeds and Cephalic Carnage and Mortal Decay. I think that was like 55 shows or so.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's a lot of shows.
Something like in that area, yeah, if I remember right. Yeah, it was a ton.
And then after, so you did She Lay Gutted, and then your departure would be after that, or?
It was, yeah, so we toured Brazil. Yeah, it was sometime after we got back from Brazil.
Okay, and then what prompted that? Did you leave? Was that something? Was that mutual?
Yeah,
or
no, it just I just couldn't tour. I couldn't do, like, they were getting more and more shows, and I started to realize, well, I can't be gone all the time. Like, as far as being away, I just couldn't do it. So
right.
That was basically the only reason why. They just wanted to do, they wanted to probably tour, tons of months out of the year, which, I couldn't do.
I'll tell you a funny story just while we're talking about that band, just briefly. We've tried to get Ricky on here for like a year. And I don't know, and he did the Suffocation thing, and then he was back out of Suffocation. I don't know what happened with that, and then I'm friends with him on Facebook, but he just never, I don't know, he's just not really into it, because in person he was like, yeah, I'll get because I wanted to have the whole band on, with their current lineup or whatever, and then it's just never happened. I don't know, so I've tried, but I don't know. We love Ricky, but it just never, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I'll bust his balls. So I'm actually going to see him tomorrow. He lives actually where I live now. So
awesome.
We're going to hang out. Yeah, we're going to hang out tomorrow. So I will run this by him and tell him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on, and because not that I don't like Suffocation, but it was, I want Disgorge. That was
right.
That was the whole thing. So, but yeah, I would appreciate that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just kind of a weird coincidence that we both ended up out here in Arizona. I mean, we were even talking about right now finding a like-minded guitar player, and then obviously Ricky and myself. So.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Well,
so
yeah, be like, hey, just be like, hey, Ricky, why the fuck aren't you on Phantasm podcast yet?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I know he'll remember me. I've bugged him so much when he was just like last year when we went and saw Suffocation with Frank still, but Ricky was hanging out with him. I mean, I've been bugging him for like since 2015 about doing it.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, like I said, I'll get on him about it then.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Would be amazing. So next for you would be Cinerary, I think.
Cinerary, yeah, yep.
And how did that come to be?
So that was, I actually was living in Chicago at the time. So that's when, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the band Incestuous.
I've heard of them, but I've never listened to them.
Yeah, they did an album called Brass Knuckle Abortion. It's like along the lines of like early Gorgasm.
That's fucking awesome.
We're big Gorg. We actually had Gorgasm on last year, so.
Oh, cool! Yeah, great. Yeah,
love those guys. Yeah.
That's like our only one we had a full band on.
Yeah, we got them all on, and actually, you'll get a kick out of this. If you go listen to the episode, it's hilarious. Corey actually left it in there. We were having him do the media plug for us, and when we did it, we did everybody, and then we got down to
Damien,
and he's like, "This is Damien Lesky. You're listening to a podcast."
That's cool.
we couldn't really get him to talk. He's another one because I wanted to go into Broken Hope and all that other stuff with him, but he just. I mean, he was awesome, but we just really couldn't get him to say much.
I think he was stoned and drunk too much. You know,
Anthony was talking. We got Anthony and Ryan and the drummer were all talking, but we could. We but it was so funny when he did that. He was like, "You're listening to a podcast."
They were talking about having a shit in a bucket at some festival in Chile or something crazy. I don't know. We went on.
They were right. We had fun with. They were kept talking about sending pictures of each other's turds to each other and stuff. I don't know. It was like,
oh god.
Yeah. We were like, okay. But it was silly, but so you're in Chicago and Centenary.
Yeah, so I had joined. So I had actually started singing with Incestuous with that band, and then we just kind of because I was Centenary. I actually wrote a lot of the music, so I wrote like probably a good 40% of those guitar riffs. So once that kind of started happening when we were writing the new material, and then we down-tuned and all that stuff, and just it didn't fit anymore, so that's when we changed over to Centenary.
Oh, cool. I was not familiar with it till I was looking up everything that you had done. I would love to hear it. I've just and same as the Incestuous thing. I don't know if I could ever find that or not. Sometimes I could find stuff like that or not. But
oh, you've never heard the Centenary?
No, I'm going to have to find that.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool though. So after that, what you?
Yeah, so after that would have been Liturgy.
Okay, and how did that happen?
Yeah, just being buddies with Jamie and them from Vodka, and they had just said, hey, we got a bunch of these songs that are slow. They're a lot slower and more of a groove orientated a little bit. There's more groove parts, and they were like, what do you think about doing like a side, just a side project band? So once they sent me the stuff, I was like, oh yeah, totally. I'd love to sing over this.
Cool. That's another one I've looked for and I could never find it. I still buy CDs. I don't know. I know that's probably weird, but I still.
Yeah, Corey from Obscure Music has licensed both of the Centenary and the Liturgy, and he's remastered them and all that.
Oh
stuff.
wow! I'll definitely have to get on that because I'd like to have those.
Yeah, with new art too. Actually, the new art I think on both of them was really, really good. So
cool.
They did them right.
Well, that's awesome. Definitely have to check that out. And then let's see from there.
So after Liturgy, I'm trying to think now. What would I have done after Liturgy? Was it? It might have been that band that I just did a demo with in Fantasia. I'm not sure. I'm at a loss. I think it might have been in Fantasia, guys. I think.
Yeah. Well, Pathology.
Pathology came, I think, right after the in Fantasia.
Which would be
okay. I got it. I see it here. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got you. And
yeah, because I think this is my fifth Pathology that I'm doing right now. As a matter of fact, I'm in the studio. I got 2 songs left that I'm doing on Sunday, and then the new Pathology is done.
Awesome.
Well, I have to tell you something real quick, and I'm back. We'll go right back to the next band, but I have to tell you this real quick. The last 2 Pathology records are 2 of the best death metal records I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank
your
you.
vocals,
Really cool.
your vocals on those. I mean, I listened to them both back to back yesterday, and wow. The one from 2013 on Severed. Your vocals on that are some of the best I've ever heard. Period. It's really impressive to me. I was like, Jesus Christ, because I had a hell of a time finding those records physically. I actually bought one of them from. I bought the newest one from Dave, actually.
Oh, okay.
And because I wanted a physical copy of it, and then the other one I actually bought Severed. I found it through them, so I got the one from 2013 from Severed. But maybe we'll get back to that in a sec. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you how much I love those records. But
oh, cool! Yeah, thank you. Is the one from 2013? Is that Lords of Ravine? Am I thinking of the right one?
Yeah.
Okay.
My God, that record!
Love that record.
But
I like the Lords of Salem thing that was in there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we're actually a story about that. Because we're playing, we're headlining Saturday at the Las Vegas Death Fest this year,
right?
And yeah, we're going to open with that Lords of Salem,
awesome.
That track and that intro and stuff. That's actually what we're going to play first.
Yeah, it really hit in the song because I'm not even really a huge fan of the movie, to be honest, but that I like that song that's in the movie, and then in a Pathology song, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's fucking makes it 10 times heavier, that part.
Yeah,
I just really enjoyed
it fits real well. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So let's see. I guess that would be, so we're in what, like 08? I guess you'd be 06 maybe?
Yeah. I think probably 08. I think that's probably more, that's probably right. Like when, what was the first, I think the first Pathology would have been Age of Onset, I think?
Yeah, that's like 09.
Yeah. You want to talk about how that came to be, you joining Pathology?
Oh, yeah, actually, Dave just got a hold of me because he knew, he actually, I believe, thought I was still in San Diego, so he had written me. I was living up in Sacramento at this time, so I was way, way north. You're talking like a, 8 to 9 hour drive north of there. And,
sure.
Yeah, he had written me and just said, hey, would you be interested in singing, like, on these, on our new CD? And I believe he attached, like, 2 or 3 of those songs. And then, once I heard them, I was, I wasn't doing anything. I'm like, oh, yeah, fucking these songs are, killer. So, yeah, I would love to do it.
Now, did you all do a lot of touring for Age of Onset?
We did some festivals, and then not a ton, but we probably played, I would say, between 10 and 20 shows, somewhere in that area.
Not bad.
Okay.
For it, yeah.
You know any of the bands that joined you on tour or the festivals? Do you have any good ones?
Let me think. We did have a couple really good fests. There was one that we did in New Mexico that had a ton of good bands. Sherwood from Skinless's new band was there. I forget what they're called.
Awesome.
But that was like the first time I had seen him in years, so that was really cool to see him again because we're really close.
Oh yeah.
And then there was, who else was there? There was somebody there that I really, really liked. I'm trying to think. It's one of these slam bands, like one of the slam bands from that area, from New Mexico, or.
Yeah, they got some pretty nasty stuff over there. Like they know how to write that metal. It's crazy.
I'm terrible at remembering names.
I know there's one really good one called Inhumano. I don't know if they're from Spain or Mexico. That band's really good if you haven't heard them.
Oh, I've never heard them. I'll look that up.
They're pretty sick. I think you'd like them.
All right, so then moving on, you would then Legacy of the Ancients, which I love. It's such a great. That was actually the first thing I'd ever heard you do vocals on. Yeah,
I had seen the video for Code Injection on TV, which is crazy, and it was like,
yeah, that was an interesting thing. How to put like something that heavy that was on MTV at that time. That was kind of cool.
It was like the last thing that was on. When MTV still had music, it was kind of the last thing I remember seeing. Honestly, was the Code Injection video, and I was like, holy fuck, who is this band? Because it was like I turned on the channel, it was like in the middle of the video, so I'm like, I have to finish watching this so I know who the hell this is. And then CD was in my possession not too long after that. So
nice.
Did you all do a lot of touring for Legacy of the Ancients?
We did. I did a few shows, and then I'm trying to think if that's the album where they started getting the fill-in vocalist. I'm not sure if it was that one or the one after.
Well, I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I was trying to look up YouTube stuff from that tour, and it looked like a Latino dude with long black hair. And then there was a guy with shaved head.
Yeah, it was Diego, and then the other guy was...
Yeah, it's Diego from Disgorge.
Okay. And then, I don't know who the guy with the shaved head was.
Did he have a beard?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's Tim. That's the current guitar player right now, Tim.
Okay. And then...
like a mohawk or something, I think.
Yeah. And then there was a...
Yeah.
I didn't know he did vocals, too.
So what happened with... So you did the record and then you went on, or you left, or...
Well, yeah, they just, once again, it comes down to the touring stuff. Like, I'm just not able to be on the road for that long. financially, I can't do that, unfortunately, because, we don't really come home with anything.
Right,
so,
right.
for me to be gone, a month or 2 months with little to no income, I can't do that. Like, I just am not in a position
it's
to
understandable.
do that, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
So then you did abdominal protrudity, I believe?
Yes, yeah.
I'm interested to hear how you, how they got you, because, I love that record, the one that you did for them.
Yeah, they
Anomalies,
sent me actually the whole record. So they sent me all the songs, and I listened to them. I mean, from that first track, I was just like, yeah, I am for sure doing this.
It's record's brutal.
The Anomalies of Artificial Origin, yeah. God.
Yeah, it's just that is some of the heaviest groove that I've heard musically. So.
And the Russians know how to do it too. If it's not in Mexico, the Russians. I mean, I gotta say, Lack of Oxygen is probably not only one of my favorite death metal songs because it's like really simple. It's not too like gore oriented or like overly offensive or graphic, but it's just it's just perfect. I don't know how to describe it, but it's fucking awesome. Now, did you do the lyrics for it as well, or?
Yeah, I do all the lyrics for that one. Yeah, and I made them. I don't write like war lyrics, so my stuff is a bit more, like conspiracy type stuff. Like science fiction and Illuminati, that kind of thing. So that's kind of where that was stuck with. They're all written about like non-fictional events. Every song is based off of something that really happened. So.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Now, did you do the lyrics on the Disgorge record as well?
Disgorge, no. I didn't do any of those. I mean, I would maybe fill in a couple lines here and there if it needed, but that would be about it. But Ben and Ricky did most of the lyrics for Disgorge. Yeah, I can't write. I just can't write that style of lyric, that really gory.
Oh, right, I got you. But now, Age of Onset, did you do the lyrics on that and Legacy of the Ancients?
Yeah, all the Pathology stuff, I've done all the lyrics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. So after that, you returned to Pathology. How did that happen?
Yeah, just again, because they're super good friends. Dave and Tim are, like some of my close friends, and they just, said, hey, just, come back. We got a killer offer from a label, and this and that, and they had sent me the material, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Well, I'm not, I had bought and owned the 2 records in between your departure. I can't do that vocalist. I've tried, and I believe actually Corey saw him live. I think with Deicide.
Yeah, I mean he's a cool guy. He's he was just very.
It's just
chill.
not the same animal. I don't know. I'm very picky about death metal vocals.
I think live he was a lot more effective than on the record. He kind of played around with his vocals more live than he did in the studio. So it's still very good. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard people say that too. That they think that those songs were better live than the.
Yeah, definitely. Because on the recording, I wasn't. But if it was if you had gone back and redone those 2 records, I would.
Well, yeah, that would be
myself. But that's different. It's different,
So the Lord's record, absolutely love it. I touched on it a second ago. Want to ask you a little bit about that. What was it like recording that? Did y'all record that in San Diego or?
Yeah, we did that. In San Diego. I do whenever I'm down there. Anyway, obviously I'm doing the vocals here in Phoenix now for the new one, but I've got a really good studio. It's the same studio that Exhumed uses out here. So
awesome! Yeah, we just talked to Matt the other day. He was on.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, right on.
And a year ago, we had Ross on, so that was how, because we had been after getting Matt like we were Ricky. We were just playing this game of tag. Will you come on? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we had a good time. They're great dudes, so that's awesome, you guys.
Yeah, super good guys.
too.
My favorite song on Lords, I love the whole record. It really is. It's my favorite Pathology album.
Mine too, I have to say. It's really close to Legacy for me, but I like it a little better, I guess, because those 2 records came out, the other vocalist, and I was like, fuck, I just want Matti Way on an album again. And then when you came back, it was just like the perfect material for you to come back on. It was great.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Yeah, I think Lords is, in my opinion, of the Pathology, I think it's the darkest.
It's so good. The artwork is awesome, and the songs are great. And
it's very visceral, and it does seem very, like, it has a lot of depth, but it feels like you're being, I don't know, sucked into it, but choked at the same time. I don't know. It's crazy. It actually has a crazy feeling to it when you listen to it, which not a lot of I can say about a lot of death metal, especially a lot of modern death metal, where it had that kind of vibe to it, where I actually felt, felt like I was being crushed, but in the nicest way possible, So I enjoyed that feeling. It feels nice.
Now the production on that, did you guys do that, or was there a producer on that one, or?
Well, we record, most of the time, we record all the stuff, and then what we'll do for, example, so we'll record Tim's guitars, but then what we'll do is we'll take those into the studio where I do my stuff at, and then what the producer will do is he'll reamp them. So just to get the beefier, stuff.
I really like the production on that record. It just sounds really good. I mean, it's just...
I like it too, and I've heard a lot of negative about that one, the production-wise, and
really?
I disagree with that.
Yeah, they're high. I mean, it's the music's meaty, and your vocals sound like they're traveling through the room. I was listening. I've got a really nice stereo setup. I was at a Bose stereo system. I was listening through it yesterday, and I was like, man, this fucking record sounds awesome. I think it sounds great. I would totally argue that if someone would say that. I don't know what. Maybe they're wanting this polished bullshit. I don't know. I think a lot of
right. That's the thing. I think everything is so it's not real anymore. Everything is so the bands have lost the organic feel, that warm old analog feel from the 70s and 80s. That's all gone.
Yeah, because I want to hear an album recorded, live raw sounding stuff, and then I don't know. I guess that's why I like how Phil Anselmo records his bands and stuff. Is they record it sounds very raw because he likes that kind of sound. I think I respect him as a producer standpoint, because that's actually how I want to hear stuff, and he likes to keep that sound.
Well, from a death metal standpoint, just to use this as an example, and I love this, I love some of this band's material, but like the last Cannibal record, it's just overproduced. That Mark Lewis guy, it's what the hell? Because I know Paul, and I was giving him shit about it. I was like, why the hell did you use that guy? It's it just sounds overproduced. It's I don't know. The drums are flat, and I'm used to them kicking me in the nuts, and it sounds more like it just sounds like, I don't know. It just sounds too clean. I don't know, but yeah, love the Lords record, man. I think it's great. Now, did you all do a lot of touring for Lords, or?
I think that one we just did, if I remember right, is just festivals for that one, I believe, and then a few, and I think we did shows in between, a couple sets too, if I remember.
Cool. Have you all done? Corey's a avid fan of this. I'm older. I used to go to the Milwaukee Metal Fest, but I've never been to Maryland. Have you all played Maryland?
I have. I don't know if I played Maryland with. I think that was with Disgorge, if I remember.
Jesus Christ!
I also played Milwaukee with Disgorge too.
Now, see, I may have seen that, depending on what year that was, because I used to go to that pretty regularly. The Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think it was 99 or 2000 or 2001. It's in that little.
I definitely saw you guys. I know I did, because I used to go to that regularly. Like I said, I'm older, but I've never went to Maryland. It's one of those things I've been kind of on the fence about it, because there's some bands I want to see, but more not than I do. So I just don't. I tend to feel awkward at festival stuff too. I'm kind of I don't know. But now the Las Vegas one though that you're talking about, I'm actually considering going to that.
Yeah, that lineup is insane. I can't wait to see a lot of the bands live. I'm really excited. I think Mike that does the fest, he did an amazing job this year. I mean, he just put it, all these. I mean, the lineup is just ridiculous. It's so good.
I haven't seen all the bands that are playing it, so you guys are playing it. There's a lot of other good bands.
Yes, so the Thursday headliner is Vader. The Friday headliner is Mortician, and then us on Saturday. And then every day there are just tons of fantastic.
Say Morticians playing?
Yeah, they're headlining on Friday night. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Okay, I'm probably going. You literally, I just want to say this is like a record for the Phantasm podcast. That's my favorite death metal band. And I knew nothing about this.
Yeah, it's going to be, I can't wait to see them. It's been a long time since I've seen Will and, obviously them play live, so I'm really excited to hear them again.
I haven't seen them. The last time I saw them was in Atlanta in 2003. That's the last time I saw them perform.
Was that Domain of Death?
No, that was the zombie one. The
Darkest Days of Horror?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the last time I saw him, Matti.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the exact story, but from what I understand, I thought something happened. Like, I don't know if it was physically or something where they couldn't do live. I forget, but I thought I had heard through the grapevine that something happened to them.
Well, I know, and I'll tell you a fun story that I actually heard. Terrence from Suffocation told me this story. Apparently, Will was in Europe somewhere and thought he was being kidnapped and attacked a cab driver and went to jail.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that, I was like, Jesus Christ, because apparently he has like really bad anxiety. Because I've aggravated about everybody that I've met or interviewed about getting Will, because I'm such a huge Mortician
Including
fan.
Robert, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've asked. Yeah, we've tried going through the guitarist, and he won't even respond or talk to me. I've tried going through him, but Will's who I want, but anyway, Terrence had told me that, so I hope that Vegas thing is not sold out, because I will definitely be attending now. You have told, with you guys being there and Mortician, that's an Invader. Hell, that's a done deal. That sounds.
Yeah, it's amazing, the lineup. And then like I said, there's so many great bands too. Like every day, it's going to be really fun.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I'm
now,
totally.
If you know any of the other some of the bands, and tell the viewers out there that are looking for a good death metal festival.
Yeah, there's a band actually from here that I've been getting into lately. They're called Atoll. They're killer. They're really, really heavy. They're playing Vegas. I'm not sure if they're playing Friday or Saturday. I forget. I'd have to look. If you go to Facebook, the LVDF has a Facebook, site up where you can get all the info as far as tickets. And it's a brand new venue this year too, the venue is amazing. It's just, it's going to be really, really good.
Killer. And what are the dates for the festival? When do they take place?
That is, so without looking at a calendar, but it's the beginning of June. So it's like 9th, 10th, 11th, whatever that Thursday, Friday, Saturday falls on. Like around that, it might be 8th, 9th, 10th, I forget, but it's somewhere right there.
Right.
But it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night right in that area, right at the beginning of June.
Perfect.
Well, we are going to try to get there, and we will buy you a beer or whatever you like there. And I cannot believe, you have to forgive me, I'm literally in shock. I had no idea. I had no idea, because we actually kicked the tires on going to it last year.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. But I mean, if you guys, Mortish, Jesus Christ! Like I said, I had no idea. That's crazy. I'm blown away. It's
gonna be something else. Like to be able to see them again.
If Vader, Pathology, and Mortician in the same sentence doesn't catch your eye, then you're not a death metal fan.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So, and to get to see you perform live, which I've apparently did in '99, and I was such a drunkard back then. I can't remember things, but
yeah, it's been a long time for me since being doing live, like a full set live. So it's gonna be. I'm super looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely pumped for you. That sounds awesome. Hopefully, we'll be in attendance.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to look into that.
I hope you guys make it out. That'd be great to hang out. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, Throne of Rain. Let's talk about Throne of Rain.
Okay.
Again, I'm assuming all the lyrics, you knocked that out yourself there. And
yeah, right.
The vocals, again, man, your vocals, they're very unique. I told Corey earlier today, I don't know if you're a Chris Barnes fan at all, but it sounds like you've taken what he did with Cannibal and then took it to another level.
Took it to space and hell and back. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He was definitely early on. He was definitely an influence too, and even more so than him was from Broken Hope.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that, and I just tried to, I just thought to myself, well, if I can do like Broken Hope, and then mix that with Symphonies of Sickness, and then maybe mix that with like, some of the old incantation low vocals, I'm like, I think then I'd have something. So that was kind of like the idea back in those days.
I
when
think
I was
you nailed it.
evolving into.
Well, that's amazing. The songs. I think my favorite song off Throne is probably Above Atmosphere. I really like that song. I don't know why, but that's a standout track for me. And Preparing for Blood I like as well.
Yeah, I super dig that one too.
Now, did you guys do any shows for that album?
For Throne, no, I did not. I think that's when they had some fill-in, when they had, I know Sean filled in. And
oh, okay.
Who else did they have? Yeah, they had other people that were like kind of filling in, so.
It's such again, and I wanted to touch on this a second because I didn't, and I meant to earlier. On the Pathology records that you're on, the artwork is, God, the Legacy of the Ancients artwork is awesome.
Is it Par Olafsson that does your artwork?
Yeah, right, he does all of it, right?
Yeah, he's fucking sick.
And the new one, including this new one coming too.
Oh, really? And what can you tell us about the new record?
The new one is... The new one is like a mix between probably like Legacy and then Lords. It's super dark and it's super heavy, catchy like Legacy is, and then vocally it's as nasty as anything that I've ever done. So
that's fantastic. Now, will it be on the Pathology music again, like the last record, or?
This one is on Comatose.
Oh, wow, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, this one's Comatose, yep.
Well, that's cool. And will that be coming out sometime in 2017, or?
Yeah, that's coming out, yeah. So like I said, so Sunday I'm finishing up, and then I've got a couple guest guys coming in Sunday to do guest vocals.
Awesome.
Cole from Lago, and then Ricky, my Disgorge, going to come do some guest vocals too. So
that's amazing.
That's awesome. That's cool. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that. Maybe when you guys put that out, maybe have you come back on, and you can come on and promote that as well. Definitely have to look forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll get you guys too. I'll just make sure it's cool with Dave. But if he's okay with it, I'll send you guys like an advanced track from it so you can check it out.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, of course we'll review it and also plug it on the podcast as well.
Okay.
One little other thing we wanted to talk with you about before we let you go. Are you a horror movie fan at all, or?
Oh yeah, huge. Yeah.
Okay, what was this kind of silly questions to ask you here, but what was the first horror movie that you saw?
The first that I saw, probably that I remember. It's either going to be Exorcist or Halloween. One of those two.
Exorcist was my first one. I was like 5, maybe.
Yeah, right. I was like a little kid. I was like, just completely like freaked out.
Yeah.
I'm so obsessed with film. I don't know if you guys know, but I actually am making films now, and that's like my my huge passion at the moment. So,
awesome.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, so it's a it's from the North Films. We've got Facebook and all that kind of stuff. We just put our first documentaries up on YouTube. It's free, obviously, to watch. And
awesome. I think I actually liked your page.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, that's really cool. And we've done some pretty like haunting, like shorts, like silent. They're silent films.
Right.
Obviously with the soundtrack, but they're silent, and they're just really like a throwback to the old, like the 20s and 30s, but with more of like Stanley Kubrick and The Shining type framing of shots.
Yeah, we had just went and saw The Shining in theaters. They had put it out again, and of course, I'm young.
Oh my God.
I'm young, and I had never seen it.
How was that?
Oh man, it's a new appreciation going to see that movie in a theater. Like it was so awesome. Like I was watching it like I'd never watched it before, because that movie freaks me out anyway. But
you've never.
Yeah.
I was looking at it through the eyes of like Stanley Kubrick, like as a director's standpoint and an art form more than just the movie, you know. And I had never done that before with any movie. I don't know why it happened to me like that with The Shining, but I just have so much more of an appreciation for that film than I ever did. Seeing it in theaters just kind of changed everything for me with that movie.
It was a Fathom event thing. I had him and his wife come and watch it with me. It's such a great movie. To see it theatrically, because as a kid when I saw it in the theater, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it still scares me. The part with the woman coming out of the bathtub's like, that always scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that is one haunting film, to put it mildly. I mean, that's as haunting as it gets as far as that, you know, time period. I mean, that's like one of my all-time favorites.
Right.
Oh, it's great. Were you into any of the Corey's really into the Italian stuff? Were you into any of the Italian horror, the Fulci or Argento or?
Yeah, a lot of times too. A lot of times what I do is, like, for example, if I'm editing, obviously where I'm just doing video and not sound, I will throw, like, I just threw opera on the other day just to have it on in the background.
Oh, that's
nice. Argento. Yeah, and I just you know, listen to it as I edit, and, you know, just because I love the music and all that stuff, and I just
love that.
I'm a huge Dario Argento fan. Like,
awesome. Yeah, I love Goblin and Fabio Frizzi. You know, all that, you know, kooky Italian music is awesome in those films.
Oh, I love Goblin. I've got that in my car right now. I listen to that often.
That's awesome.
What did you think of that Goblin Rebirth album?
I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it came out a couple years ago on Relapse. I picked it up. I don't even know if I've ever even listened to all of it. And I'll tell you a funny story about it. Corey and I were actually going to go see them. It was them, and Hate Eternal was opening for them.
Yeah, it was weird.
But the tour never happened. And the reason I guess they were doing, I guess Eric, I don't think he produced it, but I think he mixed the Goblin Rebirth thing for him or something. Claudia, there was some kind of or he's a fan, or I'm not really sure what happened with that, but the tour never happened.
But they ended up playing Maryland Death Fest last year.
Oh, Goblin did? Goblin Rebirth or whatever.
I don't know how that went. I haven't seen video. I don't know if they played or not. I mean, I'm assuming they did.
Yeah. So are these new songs, or are these just songs?
No, it's new.
Yeah, the Rebirth was all new stuff.
It's new stuff, and I forget. I couldn't tell you because I don't know enough about Goblin, but I know. I guess there's at least one or two original people in it.
I thought they were all original.
No,
that are alive.
There's only a couple.
It's Claudio, Simonetti, and then
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know it's not. There was somebody missing from it, but I'm not really sure. But the record's cool. I mean, it's interesting. It's different.
I'm gonna actually, when we get off here, that's one of the first things I'm gonna do is gonna look that up on YouTube and listen to it.
It's a couple years old, but it's. Okay. I mean, I thought it was cool. I don't know. Have you listened to Zombie before?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think those guys are really cool. That's another band that because it just sounds like John Carpenter music to me.
I like Tangerine Dream, like 80s stuff.
Yeah, Tangerine Dream is one of my favorites. If you guys are into, I didn't realize you guys were into this kind of music. Relapse just put out a fantastic album from a band called Survive.
Really?
They did all the music for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just really good stuff.
Their album is out on Relapse, and it is fantastic. I mean, it is.
I didn't know they had a record out. That's awesome.
It's very Carpenter. So if you're into Carpenter, which is, that's basically my
it's like
my
synth
go-to as
stuff.
far as soundtracks. So I think the Fog soundtrack is probably the best movie soundtrack ever made. But if you're into him, you're definitely going to like these guys.
Corey and I are big fans, and this is some of our favorite music that John did. At least I'm pretty sure we are on the same page on this. I know we are, but the Halloween 3 soundtrack.
Fucking love it, man.
What's funny is I actually really enjoy that film as well.
We love it.
It's our favorite.
We love
my
it.
favorite.
Actually, a funny story. Are you familiar with Horror's Hallowed Grounds?
I don't think so.
It's a guy named Sean Clark, and what he does is he illegally goes to where they shot some of these films, and he tells you stuff about the films. And we actually had him on, and the movie that we chose to put with him was Halloween 3. But he's just a really cool guy. But he's very informative. He knows more about like any movie thing than I've ever. It's like having an encyclopedia about horror films with you. But he'll go like he did an episode of The Fog where like
he goes to that church and shit.
Yeah, he goes to the church and he goes to where all the you can look this stuff up on YouTube, but it's also on the Blu-ray releases from Scream Factory.
Wasn't there like a bad storm that he was talking about?
Yeah, he couldn't get down to the lighthouse because the walkway was so bad. But he's just a pretty interesting guy. The bar I can't think of his damn name.
Tom Atkins.
Tom Atkins is in. He goes and has a drink in that same bar from Halloween 3. And
that's so cool.
Just all these different places. I forget what part of California. It's Northern California.
Santa Mira.
Yeah, Santa Mira. And I've never been there, but it looks just gorgeous. And
even the factory stuff.
That's right up where the Deeds guys kind of live. They live very close to that area.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you ever pass through there, and if you see, if you actually watch the Horus Hall of Ground things on the screen, the Scream Factory release of Halloween 3, they have the thing where he shows you all those locations. So if you go through Santa Mira, you can see.
Yeah, because the fog was shot there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
There actually, that church is in Halloween 3 also. The Fog Church is in one of the scenes where he goes. Tom Atkins. It's in the beginning when he's buying the beer at the grocery,
the downtown thing,
general market or whatever.
But yeah, John's. I guess I don't know. Maybe you know about this. I was going to actually ask you, Matti. I keep being told that he's scored and wrote a Halloween film that comes out this year.
Carpenter?
That's what I keep being told by people.
No. He's going to. The last thing I followed him like adamantly. The last that I saw him talking about Halloween was he's going to be a producer on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he's going to produce it, but I don't know. He might be doing the music. If he does the music, I mean, wow.
Yeah, I'd be pretty sold on it at that point.
Wow.
Did you get to go see him perform last year?
No, I did not. No, my guy that does all my film sounds got to see him live, and he was texting me pictures throughout the concert. I was really, really upset.
It didn't come anywhere. We're in Florida. It didn't come anywhere near where we were, so I thought he would have played Atlanta or Miami or something, but he didn't. And it's I just thought it was so strange him being from Kentucky and he didn't play anywhere in the South. Not one.
Yeah, that's really strange. He went to Bowling Green. I'm surprised he wouldn't do something down there.
He didn't do any shows in Kentucky, Cincinnati,
if he did, we didn't
Atlanta. No, he didn't. I've looked at all that, and but it's but I wanted to see it. But I tell you, I'm sure you've got or listened to these. I thought that last Lost Themes that he put out, that Volume 2, I thought was fantastic.
Oh, it's great. I own all of his stuff. Yeah, I love both of the Lost Theme records.
Yeah, they're great. I really. The first one I liked, but there was something about that second one. It felt like there was more like synth on it or something. I don't know. I really liked it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah,
it's crazy that second one was produced by or was mixed by Ogre from Skinny Puppy. Which
that's strange.
Because he had it. I went to a convention and he was selling it at his table, and I was like, "Oh, were you involved with that?" Obviously, and he was like, "Yeah, I mixed the album." I was like, "Holy shit!" But he did it from his house. He didn't get to sit down with John or anything like that. He just kind of sent it over to him, and he mixed some of the tracks or something.
Oh wow, okay. And I know live that he doesn't. John still does, obviously, some of the easier stuff, but he just kind of said that his age has gotten the better of him as far as the dexterity in his hands go. But I know his son does. Cody does most of it.
Right.
Yeah, I think he had his son and his stepson, I think, who were in his band.
Okay.
Because as a fan, one of the reasons I was kind of disappointed was because initially, when he talked about, and you may have seen this as well, initially Alan Holdsworth was supposed to do some of the shows with him, but I guess it didn't happen. If that had happened, I would have shit, but...
Oh, seriously. Yeah, seriously.
That would have been... Because my favorite... I was actually going to ask you this. What's your favorite, John? Do you have a favorite film?
The Fog.
Oh, it is The Fog. Okay, The Fog. Mine's Escape from New York. I don't know.
Oh, I love it.
I'm actually... a convention I'm going to in March, Nick Castle's going to be there, and I'm wanting... Because I had read... For years, I guess he and John had wrote that character, so I was going to kind of talk to him about that. I mean, obviously him being Michael Myers too, but
that's going to be very, very cool. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it should be fun. Excuse me, should be fun. But
I'd honestly say for my favorite, it might probably be They Live. I know that's a weird one, but
no, that's a great movie.
The campiness of that is unmatched. I love it.
And I love Keith David, and Roddy Piper was such a great character in that film. And that fight scene alone was probably one of my favorite fight scenes, I think, in cinema. I thought it was great with that whole sequence.
It's so good.
Now, did you, in 2015, they showed Halloween theatrically with like a forward with John on it. Did you get to check that out?
I didn't. If it wasn't in my area, if it was, I would have gone. Now that I'm in, I moved to Phoenix, so now that I'm in Phoenix, because it's, I believe it's the 6th largest city in the country, now I'll be able to get to see a lot of this cool stuff, because most of the stuff's going to come here.
Yeah. That's the plus, the upside of
Well,
that.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I know in a couple of weeks I'm going to a horror convention in Atlanta, and on the Saturday night of it, they're playing. They have like a theater in the hotel, I guess, and they're screening Halloween, so I'll get to finally see that on a big screen. So that'll be cool.
Oh, that would be that would be a dream come true for me to see something like that on the big screen.
And I've waited a while because I haven't watched Halloween in like all the way through in a long time, so it'd be cool to see it, front to back on that screen. It'd be nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, hey, man, we can't thank you enough for doing this. It's an honor to have you on.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm super appreciative. I super enjoyed it.
And hopefully you come back on when you have the new record drop. We'd love to have you on again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, anytime. Just, absolutely. Anytime, shoot me a text or whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you guys need.
Fantastic.
We'll stay in touch.
I am Matti of Pathology, and you are listening to the FANTASM podcast.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. I super appreciate it too. Like I said, anything you need, just holler.
Okay, we will. We'll stay in touch, and you have a great weekend, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Cheers, man.